Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to yet another coffee chat.
Yay.
Cheers. So, I'm drinking my coffee out of my dad mug.
Mm-hmm.
I have like a coffee spot on the Mickey's
head.
whatever. I love this mug though. It just looks legit.
That's a great mug. And I am using our Disney Cruise Wonder mug
There's a lot of lipstick on that
with
thing.
some lipstick on it.
Like there's a ton.
Probably because I just put on lipstick.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best call. My coffee is cold,
yeah.
but it's okay.
cold?
I still drink cold coffee.
I can't handle cold
I do.
coffee.
I don't mind it. Like, I know, because I got him the Ember mug for Christmas, which he loves because it keeps it hot.
Gosh.
But I'll just drink cold coffee. Like, I'll just leave it in here and just sip it throughout the day. It doesn't bother me.
Ember mug changed my life. I've wanted this thing for a long time. Finally got it. I'll link it below for you guys. It's amazing. I'm not drinking out of my Ember mug, but this is still hot. What are you drinking today?
It is brewed coffee with some creamer. White chocolate raspberry creamer, I believe.
Okay. Mine's just black coffee. Nothing really special today, just classic brewed coffee.
Yep.
And I mean, it's just a staple in our house. So, welcome to our coffee chat. We have some questions that you guys are always faithful to, give. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay. First off is before we get to our goals and stuff, and before your questions, we're going to talk about our podcast.
Yeah.
So we're actually going to be recording our first podcast soon. We've already done kind of a tease for it and stuff, but we're going to record that. And we're kind of thinking of only doing the podcast like once a month. But we kind of want to do it twice a month. So we were thinking of using our coffee chats as an entry, I guess, for our podcast. So we'll do like a kind of deep kind of conversation, or just at least like a one topic conversation.
Yeah.
And then we'll do a coffee chat. So it'll be twice. We're still going to record it because we're still going to record both of those as far as like YouTube goes.
Yeah.
But we thought it'd be kind of cool in case you want to listen to these in your car or something like that too.
Right. Yeah. Because there's not much like, I mean, these could easily be podcasts, all of our coffee chats. So we're like, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
So the coffee chat will be transformed into the podcast. Not this one, but the next one.
Yes.
Okay. Next up is share some bad news before we continue. Do you want to share this, or you want me to share it?
We're going to dive into this already.
My thing is like, let's just get it. Let's just talk about it and let's move on.
Okay.
Okay. As some of you guys know, if you follow us on social media, our dog passed away.
And if you've been watching our channel, like, Boston. He's on our thumbnail.
Yeah.
So
He's on our profile picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thumbnail. Sorry.
It's all right. But yeah, it was hard. He's been having some seizures. We've talked about that in some previous videos. But it really just that's what killed him, to be honest. Is his seizures.
Right.
He was really healthy other than that.
Yeah, we got all of his vitals checked, and they're like, he is healthy, like, as they say, as a horse.
They literally said he's healthy as a horse, and I was like, well, he's a dog.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's hard because I think we were talking about it in it's hard because the boys. I think one of the hardest things to hear was when Tucker, because we buried Boston in our backyard right next to our studio, and I think one of the hardest things I heard was from Tucker, and he said, "Hey, Dad, is Boston still buried?" Like it was hard for him to understand that he was gone.
Right.
He gets it now. They both get it because it's been about a week or almost a week.
So I was going to say thank you to those. I know on social media, for those that you follow us, wrote some really sweet notes and said you guys were in our prayers.
Really
and just those that of you have been through the loss of pets, because this was our first time. Understand that, because they really do become like so much part of your family. And for those of you that don't know, like, we got Boston before we were even married. Like, I got him and I was like, can I please, like, because we were engaged, and so I'm like, I can't just make this decision on my own. I'm like, Justin, can I please get this dog? Like, it's a Yorkie Terrier. I've always wanted one. My friend's selling them. And Justin was like, okay, because it was like,
but I had roommates at the time, so I had to bring this little pup. With all our
my parents did not want a brand new dog in our house. And so anyway, so he stayed with Justin first until we got married, and then moved in our house with us. So he has definitely been a part of a lot, like looking at pictures of bringing home Landon from the hospital, and Tucker and Juniper. Like, He's always there, and that's part of Boston's personality too. Is like he is a dog with FOMO.
There.
He has to be a part of everything. Like even when we were taking pictures, he was always like jump up like right in between us, and we were laughing when we did our announcement of our gender reveal for Juniper.
When we went live on YouTube.
When we went live on YouTube, yeah, he was like in the background popping up behind the couch. Like he was just, that was his personality. Like he always wanted to be a part of everything. And so, yeah, just a lot of memories.
A couple things
there.
that were saying why it was hard was the boys.
Yeah.
One. Number two was that it kind of closed the season because, like Lacey said, he was part of our origins. Like he was part of us in the very beginnings of when we first got married and had our first house and our second house, just part of all of that.
Yeah.
And then with all of our 3 kids. And so it was just kind of almost like a chapter closed, which was really hard to think about. But then the third thing I think was really hard too was just like all the different routines you have in the day, right? Like in the mornings or something like that. Like for example, like I'll get up, I'll make the coffee, and he always will sleep. He literally sleeps like on me.
Yeah.
Every night. And so I'll get up, he follows me to the coffee pot, and you just hear his little, his little paws, and make the coffee, and then, sit down on the couch or whatever, and while the coffee's brewing, he'll just sit right on my lap, and all that kind of stuff is, it's just not there.
Yeah.
And so that is still kind of hard. I still feel like I hear him because it's been,
I was just about to say that it's been so weird because
of those rhythms.
Yeah, and like I was changing Junie's diaper this morning, and usually like when we're up, he's up kind of a guy, and he'd usually like I'd hear him kind of like do his little shake and get off the bed, and I swore like I heard that this morning, and I keep thinking I'm like, oh, Boston's up. I'm like, oh yeah, he's not here, and sorry, I'm just getting emotional, but I think that's been like the hardest thing this week is just like coming home and like not hearing him, and like, when we would, just things that we know would happen throughout our routine and he was a part of, like just at the end of the day watching some TV and he'd just jump up on our lap, just not having that now has just been, it's been hard, like harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So we miss him, but like Justin said, he's buried just like right outside here, and we're going to get a little bush, call it the Boston bush, and just like think about him.
I think we'll probably put that in our next Weekend of Life vlog, but we're gonna go pick out a bush that just reminds us of him, and
it's it's hard because it's like it's so fresh, so when we do talk about him, like I get emotional, and like the boys were talking about him and I started crying, and I'm like, sorry guys, and then Landon's like, Tucker, don't talk about Boston. I'm like, no, it's okay.
Don't talk about Bruno.
Like just we don't talk about Boston. It's like harbor those feelings. I'm like, no guys, no, like it's okay to talk about him. Like it's okay that we're sad right now. So it's been a lot for them to understand.
There was someone that was talking to me about it, and they said, sometimes it actually is, in a way, like good for kids to experience like a pet death before like a human death.
Yeah.
And I understand because it totally makes sense to me, and just because it's real, and it's the first time they're experiencing this, and it's hard to understand, and so I think how we're handling it is we want them to talk about it, we don't want them to harbor their feelings and stuff, and every personality is different,
right?
But the worst thing I think is like, let's not talk about him. It's like, no, let's talk about him. Let's bring up the memories and all that, because he was such a huge part. 13 years. It's crazy. We've also been asked, too, if we're going to get another dog. And I think our answer to that is maybe.
No.
But
no, well, I don't want another dog right now.
I think the thing is I think we'll end up probably getting another dog.
In the future.
Like,
next house future, like.
Maybe. I'm not going to say that, but what I am going to say.
We're obviously on different pages.
Well, what I am going to say is this. I don't think it's a matter of, I don't want to say, like, we're going to have, like, a time period, and then what. It's more of, like, we just want Boston to be, like, have space. You know what I mean?
Sense,
like, of just, like, losing that. But I do know that the boys are at a really good age to have a dog. Yeah. And I think of just when I was a kid growing up with a dog.
I know.
It's so important, I think. And
I just feel so guilty. I'm like, it's like replacing Boston.
We're not. Boston will never be replaced.
I know, but that's how I feel right now. That's why it's a very much no right now. But I know what you're saying.
And that's what I'm saying is like, it's not. I just spilled coffee again.
Oh.
I think every coffee chat.
It wouldn't be a coffee chat if you
No,
didn't.
it would not.
Except for, did you get on the rug?
No, I got
was
on my,
we just
I got on
got
my shoe.
a rug in the studio.
But it actually has like gray highlights and stuff, so I feel like it will just blend in.
Perfect.
We will talk about it when we're ready to get another dog with everybody and
Yeah.
you guys and stuff, but as of right now, it's definitely a no. Because we're not kind of the kind of people who are like, let's just replace it with, like, you know, again, harbor the feelings with something else.
Yeah.
Like, we're just like, no, let's just give it some space and let this kind of play out. Mm-hmm. And then when we're all ready, we're going to know we're all ready.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. So we're going to move on from that on a happier note.
I was going to say.
I guess.
I'm like.
Whew.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be like that. But,
yeah.
I mean.
He passed only like 6 days ago.
I know. I honestly did not realize how hard it was going to be. And I think, too, because we were like, I don't know if he's going to make it much longer. Like, these seizures were not good. And then, like, for some reason, we both had a feeling at Christmas. We're like, I bet this is going to be his last Christmas because he just started declining.
It was really interesting because we didn't know what to do if we were supposed to, like, take him in and, you know, and put him down.
Because he was, like, not a good quality of life towards the end.
But then he was. Like, he was
yeah,
like,
it was
roller
weird.
Coaster,
It really
right?
was
and so
weird.
Like,
yeah.
you know how that is if your pet's at the end of the life.
And, like,
you don't
how
know what
you
to
make
do.
that call
and
is
so
horrible.
Lacey and I prayed. I was like, God, like, whatever we need to do, make it clear for us tomorrow morning.
Right.
But that was my prayer, and we all just prayed about that, and we felt good about that, and literally the next day,
that morning,
he passed. That morning,
he on his own.
And it was what I loved about it is that we didn't have to go, you know,
take him
somewhere or whatever. He was in his little bed, in his house, in his element, around everybody. Yeah. And he passed, and I think that was really cool. It was really hard, but it was actually, what happened is, as some of you guys saw on social media, that we dedicated Junie. Yeah. It happened the same day.
It did.
So he passed, and then Junie was dedicated a couple hours later. So it was crazy morning. Highs and lows for sure that morning.
Yeah.
Okay. There it is.
Now we're moving on.
There's the full story. We're gonna move on.
All my mascara is gone this morning.
Should we just like put a question in before we do the next thing?
Like our goals and stuff. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do a fun question.
Okay.
What is your favorite Disney ride? That's a really good question right now.
That is a really good question right now. And just totally change our mindset.
Thank you, whoever wrote that. I appreciate that. Yeah, what is your favorite Disney ride?
That's a hard question.
It isn't. It's not a hard question for me.
Because let's get technical with this. Are we talking Disney World? Are we talking Disneyland? Are we talking DCA?
Okay, I see what you mean. We're gonna do Disney. You know what I mean? We're gonna do Disneyland.
Okay.
And we're gonna do thrill rides.
Okay, Disneyland thrill ride.
We're not gonna do like the small like fantasy rides or anything like that, but just more of like the mountain. Let's just how about this? We even categorize it as.
We're going really deep then.
Wait, are we gonna? So should we add DC or just Disneyland?
That's why I'm asking.
Let's just do just Disneyland. Okay. And let's just do thrill rides.
Okay, favorite thrill ride in Disneyland. I know yours.
What?
Space Mountain.
Space Mountain.
You love Space Mountain.
Love it. Everything about it.
Yeah. For me, I really don't have a thrill ride in Disneyland. My thrill ride, if I'm going to say, it would be in DCA, then Credit Coaster. I love it. But in Disneyland, like Space Mountain, Thunder Mountain, even like Splash Mountain, like I like them, but I don't love them. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't really like getting
Pirates
wet.
Of the Caribbean is
I know,
like
ride. I just think of like those are more of my favorite rides.
Now, if we were scoping out to like your favorite ride, I would probably say like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, let's not do thrill then. Let's just do favorite ride in Disneyland.
Favorite ride in Disneyland would be for me. Well, that's hard. It would be Indiana Jones and Pirates of the Caribbean. Would be my and Space Mountain. Those are my three.
Well,
three.
Indiana Jones is kind of a thrill ride.
This is
so I'm gonna go Indiana Jones.
If we only were able to go to Disneyland and ride one ride, what would it be?
There we go.
For me, it would be Pirates of the Caribbean. It's so nostalgic. Yeah. The water, the smells, like everything in there, the drops. Right. Like I think if I could only ride one ride, and I think that was when we went. That's true. The beginning of the year, it was closed. Pirates of the Caribbean, and that hurt so bad.
It really did.
It really did. Because if anything else was closed, whatever. Yeah. But Pirates was closed. It was like almost like the vacation wasn't complete unless you rode that ride.
It's true. I'm gonna say Pirates as well.
POC,
that's one of our favorite.
POC.
Yep.
That's the one.
There we go. Great question.
Great question. Okay, so let's go ahead and head back to our goals. The first thing for me, you just want to go back and forth?
Sure.
Okay, so I always like to have like a physical, mental, and like a spiritual goal. Of those three goals that I like to cycle through. And then there's also like financial goals and relational goals. And Zig Ziglar does it best if you're ever interested in that kind of stuff. Anyway, we're just going to stick with those 3.
Okay.
Physical, mental, and spiritual.
Okay.
So physical for me is getting my weight under control. I was in the best shape of my life several years ago, 3 years ago. I fractured my ribs. Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, that was like a 6 to 8 month healing process because I fractured like 3 of them, 2, 3 of them.
I think so.
I was playing flag football. Flag football. Not tackle, but it happened. Mm-hmm. But because of that time, I developed these horrible habits. Like, and I don't know. It's just, 1 month turns into 6 months, turns into a year, turns into 3 years.
You're good
and then,
eating.
And then COVID hit, and that was another just cycle of whatever. So this is the year where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to run a Spartan. If you guys have been around when I ran Spartans, I'm going to run a Spartan this year. Just kind of put that out there. It's going to be more of like November-ish, probably, maybe.
Because you're very much the type that if you have something, a goal for you, that helps you.
Yeah, and then we have our viewer cruise, and that's another like kind of benchmark of like I want to lose so much weight by then.
Right.
But anyway, so I am doing Weight Watchers right now, and I'm freaking loving it. Mm-hmm. Like, thank you, Jessica Braun, for getting me on Weight Watchers. Like, not getting me on. She didn't like put me on Weight Watchers, but she like recommended it, and so I thought I would try it. And for some reason, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Weight Watchers, but like I never for some reason I just thought that was always like a girl thing. I don't know, in my brain, I just thought it was just like it wasn't for men. Okay. I don't know. Maybe some of the promotion back in the day was just geared towards that or something. Right. The target audience was that.
Did your mom do it or something?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't remember why, but but anyway, so I started doing it. The way the points are calculated, I get competitive with it. Yeah. There's a whole formula they use, obviously, with like your macros and stuff like that. But basically, you scan a barcode or you put something in there, and it says, hey, this is actually 3 points versus this is 8 points or whatever. So for me, I'm just like, well, I'm going to choose a 3-point one because I only have so many points in a day. Mm-hmm. And then if you work out, and depending on how long your workouts are and how many calories you burn, they give you points. Mm-hmm. And you also have points that they're kind of like in a different bucket in case you go over on a day. You can actually steal from that bucket. So it's like this really cool thing. So for me, I'm keeping that bucket for the weekends. Oh, okay. It's kind of where I'm at. And so I go really, really clean, lean on the weekends so then I can keep that reservoir. Mm-hmm. So I can maybe like, you know what? I'm going to have a little bit more of this on game day. You know what I mean? Right. Okay. Really like it. I've already lost, before I went on Weight Watchers, I've been working out. And that's a whole other thing, part of that goal. Mm-hmm. And I've already lost like 7 pounds. Nice. From just going back to the gym, running, lifting. And then I've been...
Your water uptake.
My uptake. And this is my 4th day only on Weight Watchers. Mm-hmm. But I have so much more energy. Right. And honestly... 4th day is huge for me on like a diet because it's usually for me anyway. It's like I never get past the 3rd day. 1st day I'm always like, yeah, let's go. 2nd day I'm just like, okay, I can do this. 3rd day cravings hit. I'm fatigued. Right. So after that 3rd day, for some reason, I feel like I'm good to go. And so, anyway, I really like it. So that's what I'm doing as far as my physical. I have a goal weight, but there's a lot of other aspects in that. But mainly it's just health is my primary goal. Yep.
Nice. For me, as far as physical goes, I just had a baby, so I want to get this baby weight off. I did. So it is taking me a lot harder, let me tell you this, to get the baby weight off with the 3rd than it was for the boys. And I don't know, there's probably a lot of reasons to that, but one of them was it was taking me so long, honestly, just to get back to working out. Like I really struggled because that's so mental for me, and I was just like, I can't do it. And then one thing, it just kind of hit me, and I was like, Justin, I'm going to the gym on Monday, and I'm going to keep at it. And he's like, okay. And I love it. I'm just saying this out loud just because I'm like, I know I need to do this, and I'm actually ready now, if that makes sense. So I've been running. I'm really enjoying it. And not just because I want to lose the baby weight, but also because my health, I just feel, again, more energized, and I love it. So I've been doing that, and then I also we have like Apple Fitness, so if I'm not able to make it to the gym,
do it at home.
I'll do something at home, Pilates, whatever it is, but just trying to get in some workout throughout the day. I got some new running shoes, if you guys saw the vlog of that.
We'll link it below.
Did something really dumb, didn't break them in, and just put them on and went to the gym, went running, so I got really bad blisties.
I was hoping you were going to say blisties. I was like, please say blisties.
it's right on my heel. And so I went to the gym today and I was like, why are these shoes hurting so bad? I'm like, oh, I have a horrible blister. And so I'm like, I can't run. Like, I'm going to cry. But I'm like, you know what, Lacey, you can do something. So I like go on the
bike.
Bike. And I did a cycling thing. And I was like, at least my foot like can stable right there. And it wasn't like running. So it wasn't hitting that motion of the blister, the blisty. Excuse me.
we also, just so you guys know, we do go to the Y. We go to the Y.
Yeah.
And we've been loving it. They have all these classes and the kids can go as well.
Swim and stuff.
It's great for our family. It works well.
It does. And it's like 5 minutes away.
We found a rhythm. So like I usually go early, and then Lacey and Cassidy go when I get back.
Yep.
And so we kind of tag it, and it's worked really well because all the accountability.
They're usually in bed.
I'm like I better get up and go to the gym, and I go like at 5:15.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if I go, I need to go because I don't want to be the one that doesn't go to the gym, and I know that they go at 6. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And so I don't want to not go, and Cassie's like, are you coming, Lacey?
So we've built in this like
good accountability
support system, this accountability, which is awesome. So.
It is.
But no, I'm super proud of you because she's been going very consistently, and I think we've all noticed the energy.
Yeah.
In our everybody felt healthy. It's been good. So and then, you know, when you work out, you want to eat better, and everything just kind of like
drink more water.
Yeah, it's just it's a domino effect from there.
Yeah.
So. Okay, we're going to move into our spiritual goal. Is that everything for your physical?
Yeah. I guess, too, with the food, like, I'm starting to branch out more with, like, my cooking and realizing I used to think, like, so many healthy meals weren't good. And I'm, like, trying to get new ingredients and new different kind of vegetables. And I'm having a lot of fun with that, but also seeing how, like, good it is, but it's like healthy because I used to kind of stick with certain meals. I'm like, I really need to branch out. Hence why, again, in the blog, you might have seen like a cookbook I got and just trying new recipes.
And we've been trying a lot of Weight Watcher recipes. Like we found these like, thank you, Jessica. She sent me the cookie ones, and they're like 2 because they're really tiny.
Yeah, I made those.
They're 2 points per cookie. They're so good.
They're really good.
Like they're like really good cookies. They are. I'm like, honestly, really I think I would eat those more than regular cookies because they have like brown sugar in it and some other healthier options. Egg whites. Yeah, super good.
Yeah.
So next up is spiritual goal. So for me, my spiritual goal is, and with goals, we have a standard with goals, like they need to be timely and reachable, attainable, all that kind of stuff. Like SMART goals there's an acronym for that. So for me is I want to, in this next quarter, I want to read the entire Psalms. And I've read the Psalms, but not like, I have read them all, but like, I don't know, it's been a long time. So I'm really excited just to go front to back all through the Psalms.
Oh, nice.
And I love the Psalms because of like, I love David's life. If you know David in the Bible, just the fact that he has really these highs and lows. He's had great victories and like horrible moments in his life. And so reading like the way he's able to process that, I think is super healthy and just in our culture, in our life, and to really lean on God through times of unknown. And so I'm really excited to kind of process that in just this season that I'm in. So that's nice. This quarter I'm going to hit the Psalms.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome. I think it's cool because with the Bible too, one of the ladies said this at our study, and she was like, we're reading in 2 Timothy and
it's a ladies' Bible
women's
study.
Bible study I do. She was saying like, you know, this was a letter. And so like when you write letters, it's not like in how the Bible's laid out, you know, in verses too. So I was just like, oh, that's cool. Like just like thinking more about like how it was written. This was written as a letter, how you write a letter to somebody, and just the format of that. It really came more alive to me in that sense. Cool. So when you're talking about the Psalms, it made me think of that. But for my spiritual goal, I have a Bible, and it has kind of like a special little reading plan within it, like built in it, and it's got like devotionals in it. It's really cool. Yeah. And it like brings out different like characters in the Bible and talks about them. Well, I wanted to finish that, and it was actually mine from last year, and I didn't finish it. So I'm going to do it this year. So it's kind of carrying from last year, but I'm like, that's okay. It's taking me a little bit longer. It was quite a year last year. And so I'm like, but I think I can finish it this year. And I'm really enjoying it. So I want to finish that up. But it's not a certain chapter or anything. It just kind of throughout the Bible and highlights different people throughout it too. So I really like it.
That's great.
That's mine. What is that? Spiritual, physical, now?
Mental. And so
reading.
It's reading. Actually, let's pause. I'm going to grab some books. Okay, I've got the books. Also, I think we want to talk about for our mental, is obviously reading books.
Yeah.
But also getting up earlier is our thing. We've been doing that for the last couple of weeks. We feel like it's been a habit now.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while longer than that.
It is hard because sometimes you just don't know what the night brings as far as the kids go and stuff. Yeah. And then it's all about your nightly routine, like going to bed at a certain time and just there's a lot to it. Maybe we'll do like a vlog or something about maybe cool. Like our nightly routine. Yeah. Update that. We've done that a long time ago, but it's updated. So we should do that. Would you guys be interested in that?
Yeah.
Kind of talk about our nightly routine and kind of sets us up for success for the morning.
And I say also because like we used to always get up early, but I think just having a baby, like it's just like Justin said, it rocks your world in a bad, not a good and bad way, but your nights. And so some days it was just like you're in survival with your sleep. Yeah. So it's like you're not ready to be like, oh, I'm going to get up this time and do this and this, because you're just like, I need to like survive right now with my sleep because you don't get enough. And then we went through a period, obviously with Boston, and we're up at night with him with things. So
that was hard. That was for a few weeks.
Yeah.
We're here having seizures in the night.
So we've had to have a lot of grace with ourselves in this because we were like, this is not where we want to be, because if we don't get good sleep, like I'm just not
and that's
productive.
That still happens. There's times where I have to shift. I have a plan A and a plan B. We'll talk about this though. And I think what we've learned this year is having a couple different plans in case the first plan doesn't work. And I think that's what happened is before. If plan A didn't work out, if I didn't get up early, then I wouldn't go to the gym.
Right, and then we're like, let's just throw everything out the window.
And so now it's like, no, let's have that plan B just in case something happens. Obviously, plan A is what we want because we know it's the best for us.
Yeah.
But we need to have another plan in case it doesn't happen, so our health doesn't go out the window.
Yep.
Anyway, we'll talk more about that in a video.
Yeah.
So, the books that we're going to be reading, first off, is Steve Jobs. And I'm really excited to read this book.
By Walter
Isaacson. And if you didn't know, I worked for Apple for almost 9 years. Did a lot with them.
Before that, you probably should have worked for Apple because you've always been an Apple advocate since I've known you.
Yeah. I did a lot for the company. When I left, I was titled Creative Pro.
You opened up the Steve Jobs Theater. I
opened up the Steve Jobs Theater.
That was so cool.
In Cupertino. I opened up a store in Portland. Anyway, so this means this is a book that I can't wait to read.
Yeah.
I've heard good things about it, so we're going to read this for sure. And we are also going to read The Ride of a Lifetime, Bob Iger. Really excited about this because...
Was he at the Steve Jobs opening?
He was.
Theater? Did you see
him? No, it wasn't Bob Iger. It was John Lasseter.
Oh, okay.
I saw John Lasseter. I actually met John Lasseter, and I talked to John Lasseter. And because he always wears like his like really cool like collared shirts.
Crazy Disney. Collared shirts.
And so I went up to him like, I really like your collar. I like how your glasses are matching your shirt. And he's like, thank you so much. And we had a little conversation about just Pixar. And it was really cool. Anyway, but we're really excited about this because, we love Disney and we love Bob Iger. We took his master class. If you guys are familiar with that, if you haven't watched that, I would recommend watching his master class. Really this really inspired me of the reasons why we should be getting up early.
Yeah.
And one thing I took away from Bob Iger in his master class was, and I do this since I learned that, was right when I get up, I go brew my coffee and I sit in a dark spot and I write down my to-do list. I just kind of process my day. I have my do not disturb on my phone. I don't look at screens. I don't look at anything. I just go to my pen and my notepad and I write down the stuff I need to get done today. But the whole thing of it being in a dark room is so refreshing. I don't know what it is. The lights aren't on. There's no distractions. It's quiet. There's no screens. Anyway, so I'm excited to read this.
Good leadership skills. And I like 100%. How he talked about, if I remember right, just how he blocks things out in the sense of it's like, when emails come in or, because he's a man that was very much making calls, but he was able to kind of like, say now is my time is done for the day. You know what I mean? And I love that. And that's been something we've been working on where, especially with having our studio now outside of our house, because it's just like we could work all day if we wanted. So I like that. And he shares that about that.
There's always
something to do. Right.
All right. The next book, and I think there's like makeup on here for some reason, but
it looks like makeup or like pizza sauce. One of the two.
It's weird, but it's Effective Prayer Life. By Chuck Smith. I've read this so many times, but I'm going to read it again. And it kind of gives you the reason of why you pray, like with the importance of praying.
Yeah. I loved it. And it's been a while, like a long time since I've read it,
Yeah.
like before kids. So I would like to read it again as well.
And actually, what's cool is I'll actually put a link below, but there's a free PDF.
Yeah.
So I'll link that below, and you can just start reading it. It's a really obviously a short read.
Mm-hmm.
So try it out. It will change your perspective on why you pray for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is Creating Magic,
Which we've already started read.
By Lee
Cockrell.
And Tyler Braun recommended this book. We've already started reading it. And we're loving it.
Yeah.
And it's especially with like owning our own business and a lot of leadership stuff that we do with other things and everything.
And it's so interesting because the Disney aspect of it, obviously, we love too. So.
But it's 10 common sense leadership strategies from a life at Disney. Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
We're loving it, and we're actually as our small staff for Z Roll Productions, we're reading this together.
We are.
And we're doing like a chapter a week, reading it slow, and just kind of just talking about it and everything. So really, really loving this book so far.
Yes.
So that's happening. Okay, next book is Atomic Habits. So I've already read this before, but it was audio. And so I'm actually going through this again. I'm actually going through this with the staff at our church, and I'm really excited, especially with talking about goals and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's just a really, really good book of making good habits.
Yeah.
And anyway, it's remarkable, honestly. If you're kind of in this season of trying to make good habits, highly recommend this book.
So.
Tiny changes, remarkable results. Because it really talks about like stacking habits, good habits on top of each other, and honestly like having the spiritual, physical, mental goal. Those all work because we stack it on each other with certain. Anyway, you'll see, it's really good.
Yeah.
Those are our goals.
Yeah, and we shared with you guys in our last was it coffee chat when we shared about our podcast. That's kind of like a big goal for our channel that we're doing this year, so we're really excited about that.
Yeah.
And just not obviously, but to us it is like our business this year. Like we're really excited just to grow that more and just get more like creative with our channel with things now that we have like a space. So we're excited. But yeah, it will be a good year.
Be a great year.
A full year.
Full year.
But we like a lot
Lots
of
going
stuff.
on.
Lots going on, and we always do.
We always do. Yeah, it's good. So. Okay, so we're going to move in. I don't know how long this has already been.
I know, sorry.
So this could be a long one, but we're just going to grab maybe like one or two questions and then call it a coffee chat.
Okay.
Call it a day.
But don't think your questions are going to waste because those could be future podcasts, right? Mm-hmm. That's part of it.
We're pulling these questions into like podcast topics. So
yeah.
Just so you know. I like this one because it kind of goes along with the goals. Good transition.
Okay.
What motivates you when you feel like you're stuck at a plateau in life? That's a great question.
That is.
I think when you're setting goals, there's always going to be those plateaus. Like you start
sure.
losing weight, and all of a sudden, like, why am I not losing weight anymore?
Nothing happens.
There's like these plateaus with everything.
Right.
But I think for me is talking to people.
Yeah.
I think when I'm in a plateau of anything, if it's working out, if it's not being creative anymore, like just feel like I'm at like this mental block.
Yeah.
If I feel like I'm not learning the way, whatever the case may be, I surround myself with people who are doing it.
Right.
Who are succeeding at it. If it's business related, if it's just they're killing at their diet, whatever the case, there's people that are light years ahead of where I'm at.
Yeah.
I want to pick their brain, and I think when I do that, it motivates me to be better. To be honest, and I think that's for me. When I'm in a plateau, I surround myself with people who are killing it.
Right.
And then it's just like I look at myself, I'm like, I want to kill it too.
Yeah.
And it just gets me out of that funk. So
that totally makes sense. And I think I'm going to steal yours because I didn't know what mine was. But when you said that, I was like, that makes sense for me. Because whenever I'm in an area, especially just, I guess, where I'm at with my season of like motherhood and things kind of get mundane, or I'm just kind of like, okay, like, it can get wearing with the diapers or the baby. And then also I'm working, just when I see other people doing it and like you said, like killing it, or they're just finding new, things that help keep them inspired or keep them still life breathing them in them, where they're not just like, you turn into this zombie. Cause I'm like, that's not a way to live a life.
Yeah.
Even if it is a hard season. That's what inspires me too. And so I would say that as well, just being around those that are doing the same thing, doing it well, and learning from that. So
yeah, let us know below too. Like what helps you stay motivated? Like when you're in a plateau, what are things that help you? Like, do you agree with this? Is there something else you want to add to it? Like, let us know because that I love. Number one, number two. I don't even know why I said number one, but adding to that is as far as comments go. I just want to in parentheses. We read every comment. We read every single one of them. We may not respond to every single one of them because sometimes we just with life and busyness. Our battery is about to die, but I want to let you know that we do read every single one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's change our battery.
Our battery is going to die. No, how about let's do this. Let's literally just keep on going until the battery's dead because we're almost done.
Doesn't that mean it's dead?
No, it's still recording. It'll turn off.
True. Okay.
So let's just see what happens. What's a meal you can eat every day and never get sick of?
You told me that today.
I said this today. Like I literally can eat eggs.
Scrambled eggs.
For life. I could like if I could have a meal where it's just like eggs, maybe a little toast, little like
we had turkey
side
bacon,
of like turkey bacon or like a sausage patty, like little cottage cheese or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I can do that breakfast every day, all the meals. I could do it for lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
But literally, if I had to pick one food, I could do eggs.
Really?
Because you can make them so many different ways. Sunny side up.
True.
You can. Scramble and put some cheese on top, some avocado in there.
Like
I don't
the
like
sandwich.
avocado, but you can do that.
Yeah.
You can make omelets with it. Like.
Yeah.
I just like eggs. There's so many things you can do with eggs.
Right.
Hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
And plus, on Weight Watchers, there's 0 points. 0. You can eat as many eggs as you want. It's brilliant. I love eggs. So.
For me, avocado. I love avocado.
I hate avocado.
You do not. But I could do avocado toast every day. And, like, you can make that as fancy or as plain as you want. We had the most fancy avocado toast in the world with the legs. Remember on the way to Alaska, we were like, this is amazing. So, but then you can also just put on some toast with, a little bit of seasoning, and it's good. Yeah, That's good. One of mine. I love it. Well, the guys, battery is still going.
I think we should just end it. This is why.
Okay.
If it just ends right now, because it's gonna end any time.
Yeah.
We love you guys.
Okay.
Anyway, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like this video. It's still going. I know. I kind of want to just end.
Anything else you want to say?
Like, I don't know. I kind of want to just, like, how cool would it be? Let's just talk until it ends.
Okay. Why not? Like, when you're in, like, the worst places, like, TJ Maxx or Marshalls, and they have those lines, and it's like, like, I can buy one more thing before I get to the check stand. That's how I feel that is. Like, you know?
Just trying to get
when you're in line, it's like...
let's just keep on doing it. It's going to die anytime. Let's just do another question. See what happens. Again, if it dies, we love you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yep.
Okay, remember that. Because we're not going to put a battery back in.
Okay.
Which movie would you have liked to be an extra on? Adventures in Millerland. I love that question. Don't say Molly and Me or something like that.
No, that's sad.
It is sad.
I know. I would just think of something like that everybody watches every year. So then when you see a scene, you're like, hey, that's me right there.
Ooh,
like,
that's a good.
Like Home Alone 2, when they're in New York and you're like one of the extras walking across the street where you and Harry and Marvar. Something like that.
That is cool. Because it's like, it's
every year always like, there I am.
Well, I mean, it's like when someone, creates a Christmas song.
Yeah.
Like, if they make a Christmas song that's, like, it turns into a classic, you have payday every Christmas.
Oh, right.
Like, it is, like, you're set. And
you are.
That's kind of the same kind of thing. It's like, you're going to see that every year.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what
I think for me, though, it would be Indiana Jones.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I just want to be like one of those guys just run around. Just, like, not with my shirt off because... Not yet, but like
one day.
Just running around and just doing something crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I had a friend actually. She was a teacher that worked with me, and she was an extra on Hook. I think I told you that one time before. Yeah, in the baseball scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always thought that was so cool. We need to find her. I know.
We should pause every single frame and then see. Is this kid going? It's still going.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do another one.
Okay.
Maybe we can actually just end it correctly.
Should we?
Maybe we should.
Okay.
Should we? Or is there any other ones? That won't be too long.
How did you guys meet? We have actually a whole
we'll link
video
on
that
of how we met. It's a great question.
So we'll link that. But short story, it was in high school.
It was in high school.
Yeah.
You know what? All these are they're getting bigger. So as far as like depth, we're just going to end this, guys. Okay. We tried to wait for the battery. This is a good battery.
It really is.
This battery is hanging on.
It's one of those that's like, I'm really going to prepare you that your battery's getting low.
Yeah. It's like, hey, guys, it's like your tank. Like, hey, you should fill up and you like still drive like.
But you really could go
3 days worth of driving. Okay.
Anyways.
All right, we love you guys.
Do
you want to end this?
Sure, I never do, right?
Look for the podcast.
Yes.
We'll drop a date soon. We don't have a date quite yet because we have to, with podcasting thing, you have to wait for things to get approved and stuff. So
Okay.
it's going to happen, but
It'll
we'll
be
let you
there.
know. Follow us on social media so you know.
Yep. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Have a good week.
Have a good week.
And why are you repeating
And why
everything
are
I'm
you
saying?
repeating
Bye.
Bye.